Hi guys, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. I want to talk about the energies a little bit today, and I have my sand art and I have some reads to do as well. I wasn't sure if I was going to come on today. Yesterday it was such a strong day. I was feeling really good, and then the month changed today and the energy's a little bit different. And I always feel good in the morning and when I'm going through my reads, because I connect with that really well. And then when I'm done, sometimes I'm just not sure what I want to do, and that's where there's room for, your mind to kind of start messing with you a little bit. So I went outside and I pulled some weeds to ground, took my shoes off. I had to replant a tree out front that I don't know if it's going to make the winter, but I'm hoping to get it to survive in my area. But just getting out to ground a little bit. And I wanted to tell you about Jill and Remy's last sexual abuse clearing video. Is really powerful. So I recommend trying it. I've done it twice already, actually, which might be hitting me a little bit now. Maybe that's why I'm feeling a little less secure today, I guess, is the word for it. And also thank you, Cosmic Gypsy, for your meditation for Halloween. It was a really lovely meditation. I want to get into the sand art. Like I said, it is a beautiful day. It's sunny and warm outside, and I did get outside and do some weeding, which I don't do all the time, so that was good. And really what was coming to mind is really being honest with yourself, with myself, in when I do my reads. I enjoy doing the reads, and I enjoy bringing up the information and getting the downloads and all of that kind of thing. But I don't want anyone to feel judged by anything I say in the reads, that I insinuate anything about anybody. We all have things we go through in life, and we all make good decisions and bad decisions, and I'm not judging any of that. And when I say I'm not judging anything, I judge sometimes. So I guess that's what I want to say, because I'm not perfect either. But I'm working on that. And I'm working on not judging myself. A lot of it has to do with the dynamic between my feelings between my twin and I. Because two of the things that started to get me upset today were I don't want to cry. But the first thing was my age, because I just feel like there's not that much time left. And I'm sorry. I see all these young people coming together, and it's not like I haven't had my share of relationships. I have. And I'm sorry if this is triggering you, but I want to get through this, and I want to be authentic with you. The one thing was my age. The other thing was, and sometimes feeling that my twin is so much farther ahead than I am. And that it's me who's holding things back. And that's something hard to face, even though we're working every day on clearing and and doing what we can to ground every day. We still have to be real with ourselves and try to be more and more honest with what we're really thinking and feeling. So anyway, on another note, I'm going to get into the sand art for you guys, okay? The sand art was really beautiful when I did it last night. And let's see. I'm going to run through what I came up with the sand art, okay? Like father, like son was the first thing that came up. Competition for the Holy Grail and the genie in a bottle. Time capsule. Giving kids a bath. Also working on a table while a daughter helps. I was literally seeing a table. It looks like a masculine working on a table while the daughter's helping them. I saw maybe an angiogram or an MRI or a CT scan being done. And the people who are doing the scan, there was one male and one female both doing it, performing the study. I saw a little birdie with one eye. I saw an old-fashioned bathtub. I saw people getting spa treatments, as well as taking a sponge bath. I saw digging through old records. So somebody might be going through, like, trying to find some old records, whether it's financial or not, I don't know, but some hidden files. Also, spine or thoracic spine issues. I was getting maybe strongest right at the waist level, but also maybe screws in the lower back for someone, around the SI joints, or stabilizers, because there are other procedures stabilizing the spine, that could be as well. Maybe a brand new medical procedure where multiple people are present. I saw cocoons, as well as tendons and ligaments. Also possible organ transplant or heart transplant. I was just literally seeing like a surgical table and like multiple people, like, you know how they have to keep the heart, you know, in fluid, and then I saw people passing things down, so it was kind of like that picture. I saw scooping up, something being scooped up, as well as someone fixing amusement rides, specifically teacups. I saw a stingray and double dippers going to the movies while a father is working or fixing things. Also, too many hands in the mix, you know, too many opinions, or literally too many hands in the mix, double dipping. Masculines connecting, but there's too much chatter. So maybe some of the masculines are helping out each other, but there's too much talk. Also saw a woman who's like two men taking more than her share, you know, being bossy, because she was really masculine. Also talking heads was coming up there, like this feminine who was really masculine, but who talks a lot, and who kind of like energetically takes more than her share, okay? Also, this making the masculine weak and timid, and this woman won't shut up, and it's killing him, or he's falling apart due to being eaten alive and pushed out of bed. So someone might have literally gotten pushed out of bed when they were sleeping. Also saw incubators and twins, birthing twins, sharing popcorn, struggling to get out of bed. Also Hot Pockets came up, and a C-section delivery. Lobster claw crushes man as woman pays no attention. And then I saw someone maybe grinding their teeth at night, and also a shark bite while swimming. Someone might have gotten bitten by a shark. And mothers protecting their babies, but excluding the fathers. You know, like all of a sudden when someone is a new family and they have a baby, the fathers don't get why, you know, they're not getting as much attention anymore. Also someone punched in the nose. Someone got punched in the nose and ran. or someone punched something in the nose. It even could be a shark, like someone met a shark in the water, because I'm seeing a shark attack. But I'm seeing someone either punched the shark in the nose, because that's what you're supposed to do. But also could be just someone who felt attacked, like ran in and punched someone in the nose and ran. Somebody's scared they'd be eaten alive, but a panic attack, something around that energy. I also saw bats and angel wings, as well as jawbreakers came up. Also, 2 people driving a convertible with the top down. Also, someone with their soft roof of a convertible ripped off, so there's some maybe vandalism during Halloween. Also, maybe a police shootout around a car. I saw some driving through Jurassic Park, and the calla lily came up too, the flower that, thank you for the commenter who brought up calla lily. And then also, I saw ocean waves really slamming hard against the coast and the mountains, multiple volcanoes erupting, maybe by a lake, like a lake that's within mountains, but that there were volcanoes erupting in this area, like multiple volcanoes in the same location. Okay, I think that's it. Okay. So, for the Divine Feminine read today, and it might be long because I have the feminine and the masculine, and I'll pull oracle cards if it doesn't get too long. But today is November 1st. There's a shift in the month because the energy of the month changed. It is November 1st, 2018. The one, of course, is the Magician. It's about having all the tools to do what you need to do to make magic. But it also can be manipulation. But usually if the Magician's upright, it should be positive types of manipulation, you know, in order to figure out what you need to do to make your dreams come true. But it is very strong, masculine, focused, tunnel vision energy, the Magician. It was just 12/21. The day adds up to 23, which is the King of Wands. So it's very, very strong masculine energy today. The King of Wands, the Man of Passion, and the Magician. And the 23 is a 5 of that expansion energy. Expansion, change, excitement. Just romance, children. There's so much to do with 5, you know, vacations. But it's that expansion energy, change, so that you have to expand. That's the King of Wands, 23/5. It's the 3 on the inside of joy and self-expression, and then the 2 of the feminine energy on the outside, you know, weighing both sides of the situation. When I did the Divine Feminine read, the word that I was getting was convoluted, because there were so many cards that came out. You know, I do a lot of cards as it is in my spread. But today, when I went to, especially the Tarot Sexual Magic, when I went out to put the cards, half the deck came out. I mean, there's so much information. It was just convoluted. That's the word I was getting. The major arcana for the Divine Feminine was Higher Self, Luna, Chariot, and Emperor. The Higher Self, of course, is the High Priestess, same type of thing. And Luna is the Moon, Chariot is Chariot, and then the Emperor actually is Reason in the Styrian Starseed. Sorry, I had a little lapse there. So there are 3 wands, 3 swords, and 1 pentacle. No cups for the Divine Feminine today, which is kind of funny that I'm tearing up today. But then the court cards are the Queen of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords, the Page of Swords, and the numbers have to do with a lot of numbers have been coming up now all of a sudden. You know, before it was a mixture of words and numbers, and then for a few reads there's no numbers at all coming up, and now there's like tons of numbers coming up. 355 came up, 2, 3, 360. like 360 degrees, which is interesting because that's the complete circle. 55 came up. 18, 9, 331 also. And 13. The message in the codes was everything to do with music and surrendering and physical activity. Okay, all things that help you ground, right? The way the coding came up, it's really about clearing your third energy. The 9 of Wands, which is the wounded warrior, going through expansion energies, that change energy, you know, to the nth degree, like really powerful expansion, in order to clear the twins, clear three-party situations, to clear your third energy. That when there's 3 people, there are 3 truths involved. That 5 plus 5 of the truth is a new beginning. It's the double expansion on both sides to the nth degree. You know, it's really powerful here. It's about clearing the twin, the third energy, and it's wise. There's wisdom in 2 flames becoming 3. Not being 3 and then becoming 3 with your third energy. It was really about clearing your energy using music, surrender, and physical activity. Okay, so as part of what I was going outside to do today is to just ground and spend some time outside. And maybe that helps bring stuff that's in you out so you can clear that, okay? And also I was getting energy of things getting clogged up today. So the Divine Feminine's read had to do with potentially working for her family, and definitely some energies of us clearing, and what we've learned during the journey is going to start expanding at 1717 is now going to, it's rippling out to your family members. So you're going to start noticing the stuff that you learned, you're now going to start teaching to your family members. There may be just one person coming to you, or maybe not even coming to you, or maybe just kind of fishing for information, but be open to that. There may be some dealing with financial offers to family members, or talking about family finances, feeling hopeless legally, or feeling some depression, or that the Divine Feminine may be feeling that her depression is justified, and not because she wants to feel depression, but that she deserves it. And this is a big wound for the Divine Feminine, feeling like she deserves depression. Okay? And also Libra was coming up here with the Justice card. Okay? Conflicted about third party or overindulgence in depression, or just no dreams. So this was coming up not just with the twin flame dynamic, but with relationships and friends and family members around me, seeing any issues that are coming up in relationships and understanding, and really seeing relationships outside yourself in a different way now because of what you've learned from your journey. But just, and seeing the other relationships also helps you understand dynamics that your masculine may be going through in his relationship. Okay. So, and to remember that depression is an overindulgence, just like anything else, because all addictions have to do with pain. They all are addictions to pain. Okay, so depression is one of them, and for the Divine Feminine, it's a big one. Or feeling like you have no dreams, or like not wanting to do anything because it's comfortable not to. But it's not. But hanging out at home, which I love to do. I love being home, but I also like excitement to go out traveling and just get out and do different things. But if you stay home and you don't want to do anything, and you think you're not depressed, but you have no dreams, there's definitely wounds there to clear. Okay. the moon is out, and those energies, right, we're coming down from the full moon. You know, it's kind of a waiting period between the full moon and the new moon. It's an integration time. So it may be allowing you to overindulge in depression. The masculine is trying to understand the feminine energies, you know, halfway to the new moon, about giving and sharing and teaching and learning from each other. The children and the dogs. I literally was seeing 2 dogs and 1 baby, and then 1 dog on the other side. So maybe in some relationships where the masculine family has 2 dogs and a baby, and then 1 dog on the other side, and vice versa for the feminine and the masculine. So as the divine feminine, what was coming up as well is really becoming aware of what it would be like to be with your masculine. Are you willing to take on everything that is involved with his life? Are you willing to take on what's involved with your life fully? It may be having to do with taking on kids and dogs, or your divine masculine having to take on your kids and dogs, or whatever other animals you might have. Also could have to do with old people. Maybe some masculines or feminines live with their parents. Are you ready to marry into this situation? Okay? Are you ready to just be in a relationship in this type of situation? The Knight of Cups is coming up as conflicted. If he has it in him to offer love on top of sharing his whole family and marital situation, does he have the energy? Okay? So present in these moon energies is there happiness for the wounded warrior after giving up prior dreams and awakening to new love and wisdom, expansion, and possibly marriage. After finding some peace and maybe a friendly token, the stage was set at the full moon and the Halloween portal for news or possibly a small message or immature but honest communication about a love partnership and the love partnership energy. Pushing the envelope, thinking outside the box, caused others to feel poor or unworthy of inclusion as the masculine falls, unable to maintain what he has in the past. He might be having trouble sexually as well, and jumping through hoops and throwing parties just to get dumped or feel emotionally overwhelmed. So there's a lot of emotional expansion for everyone at the fall, the moon, and sudden freedom, with maybe a lot of crying going on, or freedom in crying. So all of a sudden, disconnected from third energy, the 5D world, after so powerfully connected to the new passionate connection, crying at the full moon, and now released from the third energy, but still awakened to love. So a lot of this energy I was getting has to do with feeling still very connected to the 5D around the full moon, even though it may have been very emotional for you, but now feeling even more disconnected from the 5D. It's like the universe wants you to be grounded in the 3 to 4D world right now, and not to be connecting so much with the higher realms. But it can feel very, you can feel very dejected though, like all of a sudden you're back in the 3D and you've never been in the 5D world, and you know, what do you do with yourself now? It's that kind of feeling. And it always comes around at this time of year. The foundation for the divine feminine has to do with the conflict being over, deliberating, holding back the truth or messages of higher self today, propose news after having let go, or proposal news. So there may be some people may hear news of proposals around, and can have to do with your twin, or could have to do with family. But after having let go and feeling like you're good and you let go and you're in your power, then being affected by that again. The alchemized marriage portal, the Halloween portal, was last night, and so this energy is affecting us to really look deeply into our own motivations. Centrally for the Queen of Pentacles, it is the Queen of Pentacles in the center of greed. Okay, again, she's been coming up a lot. Complete with opportunity of truth, stuck in the emotions of unhappy family or just no family at the end of a family cycle. The karmic and the divine feminine have been faceless to the militant masculine template, oblivious that the divine masculine, oblivious that he has hurt both of them, the karmic and the divine feminine, acting like emotions are just for girls, while possibly stalking their flame and trying to reignite a flame under their partner who could be cold, to be honest. The challenge is, for the divine feminine, is the twins, the choice of path and the truth about keeping quiet about past soulmates, surprisingly connected to them. So this is for both. Having had to keep quiet before and choosing this path. Surprisingly connected to your twin, you know. Both twins fending off other lovers. The masculine surprised that he actually has sexual feelings, like getting his wish. And maybe some masculines are thinking about someone's feet or their butt or their psychic abilities. His dream girl. What is the dream girl for each divine masculine? But him all of a sudden having these feelings and being very surprised by it, because maybe he didn't think he felt that way about the divine feminine. The passion that he threw away. So now in the head and heart of the divine feminine, sending 5D messages, which could just be messages like mine here, patient to shyness and rejection and possible emotional immaturity. The divine feminine's understanding this now, to get to the harsh truth of the injustice of the disconnection without feeling, when it caused the divine feminine great suffering, that he gave her loving attention and then left her to cry, while he tried to wake up his partner to a reunion, to have sex with his partner, and the divine feminine in 5D, causing jealousy of the partner, having air sex, walking out, returning, drinking, and now pretending to care, to protect themselves. Okay, so it's all about running away from ourselves. You know, when you're angry with your twin, you're angry with yourself. It's always a reflection. So, what is it about you when you are judging your twin? What is it about yourself that you're judging? Remember that. There are multiple layers and timelines that need to be understood in order to collapse. You know, we don't know because we're not supposed to know. Because there are things that are playing out that we're not supposed to know. Because the divine masculine has something to go through that probably would just hurt you if you knew. But he needs to go through it to grow, to learn. So soon for the divine feminine is the Three of Flames. The King of Wands takes a leap of faith to open their heart, as the divine feminine is excited to come out of hiding, tired of not knowing and hanging in limbo as to why he had to run away, obviously unhappy in their commitment and desperate to express his feelings, wondering where his flame went, regarding his dreams of putting the past behind for new growth, transforming love. Possible Leo or Aquarius energy was coming up here, but somehow only seeing sadness and issues in their partnership for the divine masculine, and blind to the passion of a lover who's standing up for her truth. The King of Wands' heart wants to take a leap to the divine feminine, but he is surrounded by his dreams and his commitments, and Taurus, Aquarius seem to be energies around him blocking his efforts. Also maybe like a like father, like son message here, always about business growth and physical growth. You know, that's the man thing to do. The divine feminine is seeing herself as the Five of Swords today. You know, about feeling defenseless to her own negative self-talk, about a King of Cups reversed, causing her own brain wars, feeling guilty for feeling hurt, and then feeling guilty for judging others, and blaming them for hurting her, or her own emotional detachment because of the situation. The underlying energy that comes up for the Divine Feminine is let your friends help you. And also flirt, which is just being lighthearted. It's not about sexual flirtation. It's just being with your heart open and being loving and calling in your soulmate. Around the Divine Feminine, or how she is seen, is still the Chariot energy from yesterday that she was seeing herself in. Boldly moving, traveling or ascending, or a Cancer energy around her, daydreaming about starting over in love, or a spiritually overwhelmed or dumped Queen of Wands who may feel vengeful and actually may be void of love or spirituality. And someone who could be on the warpath, okay? So, and I want to stress here too that just as the karmic can have all different kinds of personalities, so some of them are like this. You know, I've heard the stories, believe me. They're also very loving karmics, okay? And the reason, you know, the Divine Feminine questions this, well, why am I being woken up to be with my twin and meet my twin if he's with someone he loves and wants to stay with? Well, there's a lesson there. And it's not that the karmic necessarily is a bad person. Some of them are not nice people, but some of them are very nice people. And it's about maybe they're just not right for each other. You know, maybe they've outgrown each other. Maybe they want different things, but they're codependent on each other, so they're not allowing themselves to grow separately. And when we, as Divine Feminines, judge others, you know, the karmic, whether it's your twin, the karmic, other people in your world, it's always coming back to judging yourself, because we're all one energy. And yes, some of the people are very far from us in the way we deal with our daily lives, so we're not that connected to them. But it doesn't matter, because the energy we judge them with still ends up coming back to us. It's energetic balance. So no matter who it is, it's about keeping your heart open with your twin, with your twin's karmic, with your karmic. It's about keeping your heart open and not judging them, and not trying not to block yourself from them coming back for you to have to deal with, because there's fear that comes up when you think about having to deal with that person. It's fear coming up. So it's about learning to trust yourself and know that you're okay in every situation. Okay? But keeping your heart open. So there may be friendly offers that come in, but know that, you know, friendly offers may also have agendas behind them. It doesn't mean you have to shut your heart down, but you have to keep your eyes open. Okay? And know that someone who comes back as a friend, maybe an old karmic, may want something more from you. Whether it's to get back together or just something else. Maybe they want time or energy from you for something. But just realize that. And that seeing the person coming in wanting something from you may be seeing your vulnerability. Excuse me just for a moment. Sorry about that. Somebody else got my package, was delivering it back to my house, which was very nice. So anyway, like I was saying, there may be some friendly offers out there that are coming in because they may be seeing the Divine Feminine as vulnerable, and maybe it's a good time for them to come in and ask you for something. Also, the Divine Feminine needs to clear blocks of information, news, messages, temptations of social media, performing, repeating patterns, the non-traditional, divorce, spirituality, as well as breaks of contracts, because there's something that you were raised to believe about all of this stuff that you need to look at again. The cards that came up for the Divine Feminine are music, surrender, physical activities, and even more importantly right now for Divine Feminines, take a time out from narcissistic marriages and third-party situations. With and be careful as what you judge as narcissistic. It may seem that way, but the twin dynamic can seem that way, because the Divine Feminine, people may be seeing the Divine Feminine as being hurt by the Divine Masculine, and in the Divine Masculine's life, his family may be seeing the Divine Feminine hurting him. But anyway, you need to take time out from these things, perspectives, and third-party situations. And the energies around that was coming up as Taurus and Leo, Sagittarius, Virgo, Aquarius, and Aries energies. The Emperor, which was coming up as possibly Sagittarius, Scorpio, Leo, Gemini, or Taurus. And this energy, so the Emperor was coming up as those energies, Sag, Scorpio, Leo, Gemini, or Taurus. But then I was also getting a Sag, Leo, Gemini female energy defending their marriage to the death. The Emperor is finding self-love amidst a Sagittarius, Scorpio, Leo, or Gemini marriage, or possibly a Leo, Taurus lover. He is allowing the swords to fall out of his back and walking away, even if it means destitution, being left out of the crowd, or being left behind injured. The wounded warrior suddenly detoxes or explodes, detoxing from women possibly who are about money and stability, and having an epiphany about a Queen of Cups energy who just loves, but knows that they have been put in the place of being the bad one, now needing to defend her truth at all cost, or the Emperor explodes and disconnects from both women and becomes the harsh defender of truth. So it's about not getting to that place. It's about keeping your heart open and not blaming anyone. It's just working on yourself to make yourself happy. That everyone's doing their best to deal with their situations the best they know how. It's all about the moon energies, and that's very feminine energy, the conflict that brings up, and the emotions that arise in the wake of the full moon. Someone may be dumped from a third party, so some of those situations may be sorting themselves out. As the High Priestess, and it was 3737, which is the King of Cups energy, that unconditional love. As the High Priestess feels bad for bold actions, moving, traveling, etc., that have come to light about the Queen of Pentacles, the Twin Flames, and the Three Flames, information, news, messages, prompting 5D messages to the Emperor, ending the battle, the full moon conflicts, they pass as the High Priestess, Queen of Pentacles, sends 5D messages about the twins, and may be back in her headspace. The Divine Feminine may have been out of her headspace yesterday and may be back in her headspace today, moving, traveling, and making a bold move based on insignificant information about the Emperor, as the Emperor detoxes from women in general. So don't, it's like talking about social media. It's so important to stay away from social media, okay? Because it's like the worst place to get information. Number one, you never know if it's true or not, and it's just going to trigger you. It's not like you don't have enough reason to just make up stories in your head, and then adding more to it with all of this online stuff. And it's not just online stuff, it's the stories that you make up in your own mind. Don't give your mind a chance to do that. Give it something else creative to do. And then grounding and meditation. So I'm sorry if the reading did sound a little bit convoluted. There's a lot of stuff going on, but it's really just about getting real about what you really want, what makes you happy every day. What do you want to do in your everyday? So when you do come into union, what is it that you want to do all day? And do you want kids? Do you want that kind of life? Do you want to be traveling? Do you want to stay home? Do you want to work full-time? Do you want to not work at all? How do you want to be creative? So just get clear on what things you truly do love, and not the things that you're going to accept because you want someone else to love you. The Divine Masculine, the major arcana that came up, and the Divine Masculine's read was more clear and simple. It was about justice, transition, and wheel. So justice, the transition is the death card, and then the wheel of fortune. There were 3 swords, 2 wands, 1 cup, and 2 pentacles. The court cards were the King of Cups, the Page of Pentacles, the King of Swords, and the Queen of Wands. And the numbers that came up in the codes for the Divine Masculine were 44, 9, 10, begin again, just the number 4, and then 3, 2, 1, 2 also came up. And much about the codes was all about personal growth and love for the Divine Masculine. But it was also about as within, so without. Okay? So, you know, when it's just bringing up the same thing about judgment. When you judge your twin, you're judging yourself. When you judge yourself, you're judging your twin. And also I was getting like the opposite not being in as out, but the opposite of in being just on the other side of the door. Okay? So you can just, all you have to do is open the door to be in, right? To be the same. It's about keeping the heart space open. And also there could be some people around you trying to stall or cry, you know, to get your, you know, pity please, things like that. It was really about the Divine Masculine having practiced to stay at 0 point with their karmic, to be a saint or be sweet, and stay at 0 point and transmute and clear fires that are going on. And there may be, someone may have 4 hours of needing to stay at 0 point, something that comes up, or needing to work for 4 hours, 4 hours of money, 4 hours of energy. But again, staying at 0 point and transmuting, clearing fires that might come up around them. It's all about personal growth and love. So for the Divine Masculine, there's anxiety. That's the underlying energy, starting off the read. And it's very much about anxiety. Because when the Divine Masculine feels anxiety, the Divine Feminine feels anxiety, and vice versa. Stuck in their emotions of being possibly clingy or wanting to die, or just not wanting to die but not living either. You know, it's just not having dreams anymore. Stuck in deception, or of the manipulator within, not allowing the magician or indigo child to actually come out and play. Expressing feelings about lover or as lover, the King of Cups explodes from anxiety and possibly a dysfunctional family, having risen above and implemented and integrated and grounded sudden loss of family money, or just family issues around having money and saving money. There's sudden anxiety about family finances. The underlying energy for Romance Angels was paying attention to the red flags, which has to do with paying attention to your signs and synchronicities. Thinking about talking to twin on the one side and sleeping with the karmic on the other. The stage is set for a divide or split, with the karmic all about the stability and possibly partying with friends under the full moon, while the Divine Masculine discovers a pearl. And then there's the change card as underlying energy, okay, to allow the change. Over-isolating and possibly sexually frustrated, or just frustrated in general, the Divine Masculine creates to show love to himself, to be in his truth. He also has cute legs, magenta stockings, a vice, and remote viewing abilities, depending on the moon cycles. So some of them may have those abilities. He also sees the truth. Over-isolating is blocking his creativity. Rejected by the world, or just shy, is the truth of his anxiety and why home is so important to him. Needing new love and the whole truth. The foundation has to do with ending the pain of betrayal, the battle to hold on to wounds and negative self-talk, sudden synchronicities and epiphanies about family drain, whether this is energetic or financial. Centrally for the Divine Masculine is justice, in coming together to create at work, avoiding disaster in a loveless marriage or commitment or contract. The Emperor ends legal connection to a King of Cups, challenged by his heart feeling passionate, sexually frustrated as the Hermit sheds light on weakness of holding on too tightly. So it's like the Divine Masculine is being exposed, for that weakness of holding on to things too tightly, whether it be money, family, commitments that he shouldn't hold on to anymore, any of that kind of thing. The challenge is the man cave, the Divine Masculine's heart, his home, and exposing Emperor Scrooge as a weakness. Now in the head and heart is the King of Cups, letting go of holding on and making repairs, whether they be to relationships or to his home, offering a small payment or opportunity to a Queen of Wands reversed, who's either just exhausted or pissed that she's lost her independence and power. So now, and also decided to take a leap of faith to rise above the truth. Money is now being kept from the karmic and the kids, potentially, who may be spending too much. In some situations, it could be the Divine Masculine who's spending too much. And one of them, whoever's spending too much, is also giving away their money and time to family and friends when they really shouldn't be, because the person or the Divine Masculine who's working a lot is actually having to pay for all of that, and they're struggling. As well as this other person, so if the karmic is overspending, she's also doing it to get the credit for it, so everyone will love her for giving them things, while he does all the work to actually get this money. The Emperor may be the King of Cups, Divine Masculine, or the Emperor could be a boss or father figure separate from the King of Cups, Divine Masculine. Either way, he was being too loving in the past, allowing others to walk all over him, use and abuse his kindness, while he is held back from the Divine Feminine with barely an offer of friendship to keep the peace. There was death and transformation of the longing of the past to sadness and inability to see the good in his life. Soon for the Divine Masculine is the transition. Having chosen a path of possible neediness and feeling like a failure, of imbalance and greed, or possibly just paying out and losing hard-earned money and status. He is his destiny, and he knows this. After patience deliberating and hurting a Queen of Pentacles reversed and a Queen of Cups reversed, who have been through suffering cycles with the dark energies, unable to express their feelings. He may also feel that he is the angel with two women who sold their souls to the devil. And then the underlying energy comes up for the Divine Masculine, or actually the cards that came up: love yourself first and trust or have faith. Okay? It's just about loving himself first right now and having faith. He doesn't need to control or know the situation. He just needs to trust that he makes his own good fortune. And around the Divine Masculine is how he is seen, is the Page of Pentacles, with an opportunity after possible bad luck in mental or actual prison, as or with the Emperor. So being the Emperor or with the Emperor, feeling like he's imprisoned by this Emperor, he was the Emperor feeling imprisoned. The opportunity to start fresh with psychic abilities and new ideas or projects. Only the nighttime stands between the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine. The Divine Masculine is the clear blocks of the King of Swords, truthful but without emotion, calling others out or bossing others around but not hearing their truths due to being stubborn and blocked, thinking he is the truth when he actually needs to wake up to the truth of love, personal growth, and making an effort to do these things. The King of Pentacles intimidates others as the Leo, feminine energy, controls him. The truth about third-party offer of love to the Queen of Wands potentially comes out, which is coming up as Leo, Libra energy, the Queen of Wands. But it also could be a third-party situation with the karmic as well. Confession of negative self-talk or lies to family. Her hands in multiple fires as she places a crown of light upon her own head, family frustrated and working to align with this awakening. Okay, so this is about the karmic energy. But it could potentially be a divine feminine behaving this way as well. There's anxiety and pain of destiny, of abilities and opportunities, of home versus union, justice versus injustice, of the divine masculine's heart in transition from the King of Swords to the King of Cups with the King of Wands family, or death of a commitment between a King of Swords, a King of Cups, and a Queen of Wands and her family. Or the Queen of Wands needs to choose between a King of Swords and King of Cups or her family. Anxiety of union truth and sudden loss of money or home. An end to injustice of the King of Cups. The King of Swords takes his destiny and his abilities elsewhere. So there's multiple different scenarios and connections between this King of Swords, King of Cups, and the Queen of Wands that are coming up, and the Emperor. Okay? So multiple scenarios coming up is what's going on with those different people. So a lot going on both sides. But it's not a matter of judging what's going on in these situations. It's learning to understand these situations, that they're all for our growth, and that we have to go through them because we're learning something from it. So let's get into the oracle cards. Okay, we have the Ascension deck. Take a deep breath, guys. Sorry I got teary-eyed in the beginning. I have my moments too. Okay, so for the Ascension deck, what is the advice for us, everyone watching? What is the advice today? Today is November, welcome November, November 1st, 2018. And again, remember, we're going from the 10 of October, which is the Wheel of Fortune, to 11, which is now Justice, okay? What is the advice? What is the advice? Okay. We have El Moria, which is 44. The bottom is Water, which is 15. Okay, the affirmation for water is: Water, I love you, bless you, and thank you. I direct you to spread love around the planet. So whenever you drink your water, you can bless your water as you look at it. Use your eyes because you have codes in your eyes. The card that came out is El Moria, which is number 44. Okay, which is the Four of Cups. It's also Atlas. It's the weight of the world upon your shoulders. It's the number 8 of inner and outer strength, of manifestation, of staying at 0 point and balanced. Okay, El Moria is the koan of the first ray of action. He's helping us with the changes ahead and our opportunities for ascension. He is a member of the White Brotherhood and originates from Mercury. El Moria will soon become the Manu, the perfected man, on whom the new root race of humanity, with its 12 strands of connected and active DNA, will be based. In drawing this card, you're asked to lead by example, employing the self-discipline, strength, and integrity of an ascended master. You're reminded to use your power for the highest good, and the affirmation is, I stand in my power. Okay. Sorry, I just need to resituate myself a little bit. Okay, now for the past life deck. So just remember to stay in your power. Okay? And really, it's your truth is always your power. All right. What is the advice for us today? Take another deep breath, guys. What is the advice for everyone today? Everyone listening, what is the truth? What is it that we need to hear? Okay. We have Native American again, and Biblical is at the bottom of the deck. Okay, working hard for that fourth leg of union. And then Native American again. Okay. It's about really grounding and being of the earth. Spending more time out in nature, even if it's making a teepee in the backyard, you know, with a blanket or something. And again, I'm going to bring up the same thing that was coming up yesterday with Native American, is that it's the Nine of Wands reversed. It's basically this, the teepee is the white purification of the wounds that we're trying to transform. It's letting go of the battle for your wounds. You're holding on to the pain and the past when you need to just be letting go and staying present. Me too. Okay. Use your hands out in nature and just to be creative with organic things, because all of that will help ground you. It's very important to ground right now. And maybe just engage in any Native American traditions. Some of you may want to see a shaman. Okay, but it's just all about nature and getting back to nature, just simple things in life. And you may have some American Indian or even maybe Mexican Indian lives that you need to clear. Maybe you have some kind of wound opposed to that kind of life because of something you lived through. Maybe vowing never to go back to that kind of life again. Maybe going into the modern world. Clearing away. Maybe some of you who've grown up in smaller communities and made their way to a big city and vowed never to go back to that kind of life. Maybe you have a wound about that. Okay, so now we have Journey of Love. All right, for November 1st, 2018, what is the advice for us today? What is the advice? What is the advice? Take another deep breath, guys. Okay. We have the Temple, and the bottom is Sweet Soul Rising, number 20, which is Judgment. Okay, the underlying energy is Sweet Soul Rising. Sorry about the light. Let's see if I can get that better. Okay. Anyway, so number 20 is a 2. It's that feminine energy, but with source energy behind it. Judgment. But sweet judgment, Sweet Soul Rising. And then the card that came out is the Temple. Okay. It's number 59, and 59 is the 5 of Swords, which came up as the way the Divine Feminine sees herself today. So let's see. There's a lot of, it's more harsh colors. It's not soft. It's more rigid. But it is about coming together. The path is pretty smooth. It's just everything around it's not smooth. It's how smooth you allow it to be. Right? Because 5 of Swords is brain wars. But it's also that, you know, the jerk who's taking everybody down, saying they have the truth and nobody else does, so they're hurting others. But in the same breath, you have to maintain your truth and allow others to fall away. Not by pushing them or hurting them purposely, but allowing them to walk away if they don't resonate with your truth, which is okay. Everyone has their wounds to clear. The Temple says, the lover and the beloved meet in sacred space. They take respite from the cares of the world, entering into sanctuary where only they exist. You are in need of this. Meditation, making love, connection and dance, intimacy and surrender into the moment. Your body and soul need to enter into the temple and participate in sacred ceremony. Choose to gift this to yourself. Set aside time. Turn off the computer and mobile telephone. Turn on music and set the lighting. Be in the present moment. Do you remember your body? Ah, yes, here it is. Can you be in its temple with presence and delight? This oracle brings guidance to take time out to smell the flowers, savor the pleasures of life, and renew your connection to the inner lover. Your sensuality wants to come out and play. You're encouraged to explore scent, touch, taste, and feeling. Maybe someone needs to feed as well. You're encouraged to play with color. What moves you? What brings you into connection with yourself in this moment again? It is the wholeness of divine self-connection and sacred space that will best nourish you now. So that's, good practice. What is it that helps you get right back into connected space when you feel disconnected? Figure out what works for you. The poem reads, "Love should be given as it is received. On this day I grant you the love of 1,000 mountain streams and the pleasure of 100 bleats. From a newborn baby fawn, for I too cry for love, and like the fawn I cry with the hunger of being alive. And on this day I cry for the happiness of giving, and the warmth of receiving, and the softness of your gentle touch. It is moments like these when I smile for the someone who will always care." Okay? And that's about you, caring about you. Okay? So it's really about getting, the 59 is the 5 of Swords. It's about getting out of your head and staying heart-based, being connected to yourself and feeling good, and what makes you feel good, and what it is that snaps you back into your heart space when you're too much in your head. So very much. I'm going to pick one more card like I've been doing recently, just from the traditional deck, to wind things up. Let's see what we get. Clear it away. Clear it away. What is the final message today for everyone watching? What is the final message? What do we need to know? I guess I don't need to say much. You want to know what the next 2 cards are? You want to know what the bottom of the deck is? Alright, so we got the King of... Sorry, my light's just not working out today. But this is the King of Pentacles, the underlying energy, and that everything is upright. Okay, it's about recovering, and I mean, can't get much more beautiful than that. This is the unconditionally loving man. It's being the lover to yourself and offering yourself unconditional love as well. It's really loving masculine energy, okay? Just stay in your knowing, guys, okay? Drink your water and get your rest and ground. Get a lot out into nature, okay? That's really important right now. Thank you, guys. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting, and just connecting with me in general. Thank you for your patience with me as well. Rise and be loved, guys. Bye.